My name is Bert Rodriguez. I'm a kayak angler, writer, and blogger from Fort Worth, Texas. Our kayak fishing blog is Lone Star Chronicles, and our tagline is Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Fish. And although I spend a lot of times outdoors nowadays, really I'm a city slicker. I was born and raised in the city. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and so being outdoors is a relatively new thing to me. I guess you could say I'm kind of trying to catch up to everybody else. I'm a father and a husband first. I'm a family man first. You know, the fishing, the writing for sure, the photography, it takes a lot of time, and I try not to do those things at the expense of my family. I think the trick is to try to incorporate the family into the blogging thing. I fish with my son Dan. He's part of the team. But I also try to get my daughter and my wife out there as often as I can. Lately, Melissa's been coming out with us, Dan's girlfriend. Heck, I even take my dogs out there my dog out there to the Brazos. So I think I figured out a way to be able to blog about fishing and still be a family man by incorporating them into our stories. I'm often asked how I got into kayak fishing. Truth is, I started lurking on the Texas Fishing Forum and just trying to get to understand the kayak or the Texas fishing scene. When I noticed the post by a guy named Shane Davies, who's a kayak fishing guide, posted some incredible pictures of his clients, and decided to hire him one day to take my son and I bass fishing in the Brazos River. So he took us out, and we were slow trolling some native baits on the upper Brazos. My son was about 100 yards behind me. He was trolling also. Suddenly, I heard what sounded like a .22 shot being shot behind me, or a .22 rifle being shot behind me. What happened is there was a large bass that had basically attacked my bait, gotten in the air, and came back down and slapped the water down with such a force that it sounded like a gunshot to me. I proceeded to fight that fish for the next 5 minutes and got my first Brazos River sleigh ride, which was a blast. So why kayak fishing? Well, for one, it's great exercise. Two, forces you to become a better angler, because you don't get to run all over the lake looking for the fish. You have to paddle yourself there. But I think most importantly, it just gives you an opportunity to, get off your butt and get off the couch and go actually do something. One of my favorite writers is John Graves, who wrote Goodbye to a River. And before he died, he was being interviewed at age 90. And the interviewer asked him, why he continued to write this late into life. He'd written plenty of books by then. He had plenty of money. What was it that made him keep writing? And I loved his response. He basically said he didn't want to be that person who grew old, falling asleep in front of the TV each night with his mouth open. That kind of sums it up for me. I want to be out there and not be that old man sitting in the front of the couch. Just the fact that water's probably one of the most serious issues affecting the state right now. Everybody's kind of tuned into it now because of the drought. But the truth is that this water, even without the drought, this state is in trouble with regards to water. There just isn't enough water to support the growth of Texas. And there are some folks who predict that within 20 years, we're going to run out. We're going to run out of water. But in truth, we've been in trouble for water for a long time, more due to the growth of the state. We've just got so many people coming in, the cities are just exploding, and we just can't capture enough water to keep us going. I've read some predictions that in 20 years, there's going to be all kinds of lawsuits in the Texas courts over who owns the water. On one hand, you've got, agriculture that needs a lot, basically to feed the state. But you also have cities who have a high demand for water due to the humans that live in it and the watering of the green lawns. I fear for that. I don't think it's going to impact me as much as probably going to impact my children and their children, but I think the state's in for a world of hurt when it comes to water. Look at that. Wow. In terms of our blog, I think what makes us a little bit unique is that, you know, we try to document the fishing adventures of others, not so much ours. A lot of the fishing blogs capture the story or the perspective from the writer's perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I prefer to, you know, write about other people's adventures. A couple of reasons for that. One is I'm not that good of a fisherman. I'm still learning, so you know people don't want to read about my boring stories. But the other thing too is I can only be at one place at one time. You know, if I'm capturing the stories of a lot of different people, then you know there's just a lot more to write about. A few months back, we decided to paddle 60 miles down the Pecos River in southwest Texas. The river is famous for its remoteness, its ruggedness, and its beauty. There were 4 of us. The plan was to paddle 5 days down from Pandale all the way down to the Highway 90 bridge. Unfortunately for us, on the morning of the 4th day, we unexpectedly received 11 inches of rain in about a 4 or 5 hour span of time. We were pretty well prepared. We had a satellite phone, so we knew the weather was coming. We found out the night before. And we probably would have been fine if we'd have gotten, you know, just a little bit of rain, and if the river had, you know, raised, you know, 4 or 5 feet. But it didn't. It raised 33 feet, and getting off the river was a challenge. The area of the river where we were at was surrounded by steep canyon walls. Fortunately for us, we were able to find a jeep trail that allowed us to climb up. However, we had to leave all our equipment behind and our 4 boats behind, and we ended up losing everything. Despite the fact that we lost all our equipment, I'm grateful because 1, we made it out alive, and 2, since that happened, it's been quite a ride. We've seen an outpouring of support from our kayaking fishing friends in North Texas, offers to loan us kayaks, loan us equipment. We've even had offers to give us money to replace our gear. At the end of the day, Dan did find his cameras, did get them returned. There was a tournament angler fishing Lake Amistad, and they found the pelican case with his cameras and returned them to us 50 days after the flood. And that was probably the single most expensive piece of gear that we lost. We haven't gotten back our kayaks yet, but again, through the outpouring of support we've received from the community, even that's resolved itself. At the end of the day, I guess I wish it had turned out different. I guess I wish we hadn't been flooded out. But I wouldn't trade the experience for anything. It was a life-altering experience that my son and I got to go through together, and it probably changed us for the better, especially as far as survival skills and our ability to handle rivers like that in the future. As far as the future, we're pretty excited. We just entered into this new relationship with Mountain Sports in Arlington, and we're now part of their pro staff fishing team. So I think it's an excellent collaboration. Lone Star Chronicles and Mountain Sports, you know, putting the word out there through social media, through our blog, through seminars about the greatness that is kayak fishing, and also just spending time in the outdoors, you know, in general. So we're really excited and looking forward to that, you know, working with Mountain Sports here in the next year. Really excited about that. My name is Bert Rodriguez. I'm a kayak angler, internet blogger, and family man. There you go. I'll let you play with it. I don't know what I am. I'm confused. My name is Bert Rodriguez, and I'm confused.